Hello everyone, this is Nate. The stream will be starting in about 10 minutes. Thanks for popping in. Enjoy some King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And just heads up, you are getting scammed today. Airbus #1, but I'm not flying it today. We have documents to review. More Gizzard. Hello, everybody. Every nobody. This is Nate. This is my YouTube channel, Nate Flies, where I try to improve on flight simulation so that I can be better on VATSIM and not ruin anybody else's virtual flying experience. But mostly, I just have fun flying around in flight simulators. We'll be getting going in a sec here. And thanks for watching. This is basically the theme of the stream. Listen to Stu. Alrighty, we will get started here once again. My name is Nate. You're listening to the musical stylings of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And welcome to the Nate Fly stream. Recording. Like I said, I am a hobbyist, enthusiast, flight simmer, and not general aviation. I don't really care much for general aviation. But anyway, I do. I fly around in a Boeing 737 most of the time. But today is the first of my Airbus streams, which nicely starts in a Boeing 737-800 that I'm going to fly from San Diego to Tucson. So we're in beautiful San Diego. Spanish. I forget the translation. I think it's been lost to history. But yeah, and flying to Tucson today. And mainly because it's like negative 10 or so C where I am. And this makes it feel warmer for me. But yeah, the idea of today's stream is I'm going to fly this baby one last time. At least for a while. I have to set up my Airbus setup, and I'll be in the Airbus next time. But the idea here is that, as you can see, here's all the stuff, complicated stuff that we're used to. And I am going to refresh today on the flight my knowledge of Airbus procedures using some helpful stuff. But you can see I've got my WinWing Boeing set up here and here. But I also have the Airbus set up too. And so it's the whole thing to redo my sim. So I wanted to have one last dance with Mary Jane here, the Boeing 737, and then I will tear it down, put up the Airbus stuff, and you will get to enjoy, get to check out my Airbus setup. And also, I noticed from last stream, keeping it dark just looks better, I think. So it's we're gonna have mood lighting for my, even though it's nice and sunny, but to see the MCP panel and FMC, it's nicer, I think, in night mode, dark mode, as it were. So yeah, so I'll stop stalling in a sec. But the idea here is that I enjoy flight sim a lot, and I was inspired by mainly the pandemic, to start flying in Flight Simulator, and I pressed something. and to kind of get better. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. And I learned from some folks online, and I'll be looking through actually some of my inspirational documents. No, they're not inspirational documents. They're educational documents by an inspirational pilot and streamer, Blackbox 711, who kind of I learned the ropes from. So I won't put too much of that on him because when I fly bad, then it'll look bad. But then also the reason I started doing this, Marshall Sutcliffe, who has a wristwatch restoration channel, gave me the idea to start recording myself doing the hobby because when you do that and check it out, you get to look back and see what you've been messing up, and that had proven to be really helpful for me actually. So I started recording in OBS, but they were kind of boring to just watch back, and so I also just think streaming is fun, and I'm home, working from home. And our other topic of this channel is alienated labor, that I dislike, even though I do have a cool job, don't get me wrong. But when I'm not doing that, I want to enjoy this. So yeah, so Marshall, when I started recording and watching him back, it was really, really helpful, and I think streaming is fun, and so I will do that. If you pop into the chat at any time, please feel free to say hi. I'm glad to chat about this, that, or whatever. But yeah, that's the plan for today, so let's go ahead and start setting up the aircraft. I'll be going through a variety of checklists and such. I try and fly according to more or less real-world procedures. And to start out with that, let me get some stuff up for you here. For me, actually, I need my flight plans. And we are KSAN to Tucson. You can see I've done this flight, I feel like more times than this, but okay, we've got our operational flight plan handy. This will show us kind of a bunch of stuff to get the flight computer set up. And then I will also bring up some charts for us. So we're in San Diego. Yep, San Diego International. We can quick look at the weather. Real nice and calm. 3013 for the Barrow. Let's plug that in now. We'll check it again later. But I need some charts. We will, since we're offline and all that today, we just need our airport information. So here's what San Diego Airport looks like on a chart. We are at Terminal 2, and we'll be taking off runway 27 to 75. Go ahead and set some of this stuff in as I'm going and talking. So, yeah, so I try and kind of do mostly... And runway heading is probably 27 start also. So mostly real world procedures. I can never say that. But yeah, so this is what San Diego looks like. It's a pretty simple airport, but what we'll be doing today is once we push back, we'll be taxiing Bravo, and in the sim, Bravo keeps going, and we will line up on runway 27 and take off out to the west, and that will bring us to a standard instrument departure. Today it's going to be the GIZZ for RNAV departure. Here it is, and it tells us some things, so we'll read that also. 15,000 it says, because there are mountains eventually, but our first restriction is a pretty big one, but 6,000 above 11,000. So just since I like to stay low to look at the city, I'm gonna put us up to 6,000 to start. That will satisfy that first, and then we'll make sure to climb so that we don't crash into mountains. So yeah, so there is that chart, and I will pull up our other charts to Las Vegas, Tucson now. I usually do this stuff, but I forgot. So search. Back. All right, Kilo, Tango, Uniform, Sierra? Yeah. All right, Tucson, we will be arriving. The Dingo 6 arrival. We will be doing just the ILS 12 approach. And let's get the airport chart out. And there are all of our charts. So I'm going to call that approach briefing and departure briefing as well. We're going to take off, go left. And that's what we're doing. So I'm going to set up the actual aircraft now, which we haven't done. So let's do something first. I didn't do my fuel. So the block fuel today is 14.2. So we'll go into I'm in XP12 in the Zibo mod today. So fuel, we want 14296, 14296, enter. Go ahead and get the fuel trunk now. And our payload today is 8.7. Okay, 28.7 thousand. Yep, this looks good. We can check our flight envelope.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
All right, thanks. So we'll get that guy going. All right, cool. So I'm gonna do some stuff up here on the overhead panel. So I will align the IRS in a sec, but yaw damper can come on. Oops. This is all good. We're on ground power. Could use a little light on the overhead here. Seatbelts, I can get heats on, the electric pumps. I've got the checklist that will ask for that, so I'll do that. Today we are flying up to 390, so we're getting up there today. 390, and Vegas is like 2,000 something. Airports, Tucson, touchdown elevation, 2,600. Okay, pressurization panel is. And we will go down into the flight computer. You can follow me along down here if you are so interested. And I am going to look at the map, bring up the stuff I need here. Build a flight plan. So in the computer here, I'm going to go ahead and enter the FMC. Going to tell the aircraft where we are. So we're at Kilo, Sierra, Alpha, November. And we will grab a GPS coordinate. Tell the airplane where we are. Route, origin, we are going to Tucson. Uniform, Sierra, destination. We are Southwest Airlines 462 November. And punch that in. Let's go departures, arrivals. Our departure, like I said, runway 27 today. And we are doing the Zazoo for transition, Golf Bravo, November. Route, activate, and we'll execute. So on the map we can see stuff getting plugged in. I'm going to go ahead and go on to plan mode so that we can double check everything. But I also know our arrival today is going to be on the Dingo 6. Also on that, so we actually don't even really have any routing to plug in today. Also on that Golf Bravo November I'm pretty sure is a VOR of some kind. Transition, and we will be landing just ILS 1, 2. And I'm not going to put in a transition because we'll just vector ourselves to final. So go ahead and execute that and go to the route. And let's look at what's going on here. And I'm going to step through on the EFB here. If I'm in this plan mode, I can start, go to the legs, and let's step. So jetty, and there's that at zoo is that one restriction that we have. And then the next restriction's coming up there at George and IPL. So we're taking this, Mohawk, Judith. So there's GBBN. Okay. Yep, everything's looking good. I'll check the actual arrival a little more, but yeah, all this is looking good. We have a flight plan. Cool. So, I am going to go ahead and let's see if we are filled up. Not quite yet. I always forget if Zebo is calculating this or not. So we'll wait for the fuel to come in before we, because what happens if I go zero fuel right now? 136.9. Let's see. 137.3. Okay, so it does keep. That's actually correct. The ground weight will keep going up. All right, so today our reserve fuel is
Ground to flight deck, fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
cool. Okay. So now, like I said, set up the aircraft. Or our reserves are. Oops. This is all the boring stuff. 0.7. I notice cost indices are quite low these days because of probably volatile fuel prices. Okay, we're going up to flight level 390. Excuse me, need to just here into it. Execute. I can't get our average cruise winds. Those at 31 knots. Okay, execute. And now we will do our performance calculations, which we Zebo does not have a performance calculator that works just yet, so we will use the SimBrief runway analysis to do our takeoff data. Okay, so selected temperature is 52, which is kind of like you can kind of fool the engines into running more efficiently by telling it different temperatures. So it wants us to do a derated takeoff 1 and climb 2. That's fine with me. Takeoff is going to be a flaps 5 takeoff. Get our center of gravity in there, and 140. Where's our speeds? This is when you gotta decide to hit the brakes or not, because you'll run out of runway otherwise. 141 VR, that's when we take off, and 147 knots is the kind of lowest speed at which we'll still be able to take off if one of our engine blows up. And acceleration is all set 1,000. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in up here. 147. 147. Turn flight directors on. This is an LNAV, VNAV takeoff. So, all right, MCP panel is set. Our computer is feeling good. Let's start doing things. I'm gonna tell the push truck, pushback. Where are you? Your ground service. Oh, I don't want to do that. All right, ground services. Well, we still got the GPU on, so let's go ahead and fire up the APU. And put the anti-collision light on. So the APU is on the back of the aircraft here. There's a turbine, smaller engine in the back, sucks in air, and then compresses it, and that's the compressed air we'll use for the rest of the startup. Let's see, I brought these assholes. Hopefully it's not messing with our payload or anything. Alright, let's get ground services. Doors, close, close. Alright, so APU. Switch over to the auxiliary power. Go ahead and get APU bleed on. I'm gonna go ahead, whoops, put our position light on, and that looks good. Let's get rid of ground power. Is our parking brake set? Alright, by ground power, by chocks, better push back. Let's pre-plan it. We are pushing back to about here.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
That's the part I always forget, and let's listen for things. Alright, so we're going to be RTO. I could plug in some VORs at some point. I know there are some. Oops. Cancel that. Let's set up our co-pilot legs page, and I like them to be center out a little. Okay, let's do some other stuff. Let's take a huff of oxygen. This is mainly so the checklist guy doesn't yell at us. Test all the lights. Ooh, fancy. Let's go ahead and I apologize in advance.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Doing some tests. Probably should have tested the APU failure first. But do the trick. We are on standby. Squawking 2000 is cool. And as we're getting set up here, let's do a... Alright, I don't want... Andy, you're okay, but I'd rather... I got used to Lars. So I'm using these audio checklists that I'm a big fan of because it's the... Oh, I like the Lars guy. I don't know who that is. But Flight Deck to Sim is the is a stream you should follow and watch. He's a good lad. In a real world
So
pilot.
connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, so
Safety
we're almost
inspection
ready.
checklist. Surfaces and shocks.
Checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electric hydraulic pumps.
On.
Landing gear lever.
Down.
Ship's library.
Checked.
Safety inspection checklist complete.
Alright, cool. So let's do our before start to the line. I guess I started
Before
from
start
cold and dark.
checklist to the line.
This is a long one.
IRS mode selectors.
Nav.
Gear pins.
Removed.
Light test.
Really?
Okay, you saw me do the light test.
Checked.
Oxygen.
Really?
You saw me do the oxygen. Oh, I didn't have the fucking thing open. Alright.
Tested 100%.
Yaw damper.
On.
Nav transfer and display switches.
Normal and auto.
Fuel.
Fuel is... We need about 14,000 something. Yep.
Checked.
Check.
Fuel pumps.
No.
I don't... On my
Four
usual
pumps on.
checklist, I don't do
Cabin
the fuel pumps
utility.
until
IFE.
a minute.
Galley power.
On.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Fasten belts.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Air conditioning.
Pax auto bleeds on.
Pressurization.
is set.
Set.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Instruments.
Cross-checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Hydraulics.
Normal.
Speed brake.
Down detent.
Parking brake.
Set.
Stab trim cutout switches.
Normal.
Wheel well fire warning.
Checked.
Radios, radar and transponder.
Is set.
Set standby.
Rudder and aileron trims.
3 and 0.
Takeoff briefing.
Yep, we did a takeoff briefing. Here, let's get. I will punch in some VORs.
Discussed.
PA.
Sure. Done.
Complete.
FMC CDU.
Yep, all set.
Set.
N1 and IAS bugs.
N1 and IAS auto V-speed set.
Stab trim.
Really?
Did it actually pick that up? I usually don't do the trim until.
Set.
Performance,
Different
weight
time.
and balance.
Yep, all good.
Checked.
EFB.
Airplane mode installed.
Phones.
Off.
Flight deck window and cockpit door.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I fly loose.
Closed.
Doors.
Closed.
Passages.
Seated.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
Alright, cool. So let's do before start below the line, and then we will get the hell out of here. And we're stalling.
Before start checklist below the line. Air conditioning packs.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Really? Out off.
Before start checklist completed.
Alright, we did it. Oh, huge. Before we totally get going, let's make sure that toggle brakes max effort's still alive. Alright, kill that. Zcam 1. Save, man. Alright, that button ruined our lives last time. So, okay, let's get out of here. Parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Here we go. Start them up. Alright, we'll start with engine 2. Up to ground. And the engine, one of the fans in the turbine starts spinning up, compressing air for us. And when you add fuel at the proper time and ignition, creates fire that shoots out the back. Alright, that's looking good. From the outside, it's looking good. No, but from in here, we can see we've got all our stuff looking good. Okay, let's come up here. Let's start engine 1. And same deal. APU bleed air is spinning up the engine. And at around 23% N2, we add fuel. And you'll see exhaust gas temperatures start rising. And the other turbine starts spinning.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Alright, let's set the parking brake. Cool.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, we push back. we can do some things now. Let's go on generator power. So now the engines are powering us. We can go ahead and get our probes on. We don't need anti-ice. Packs auto, isolation valve auto, APU bleed can come off. All right, telling them all good. I'm gonna turn the logo light on just because it'll make it easier for me to flip the strobe when I'm ready. All right, flight switch is continuous, and the APU can come off. Let's get some lights on, and last couple things here. Let's do system.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
All right, bye. So let's check the controls. I have everything plugged in. Full left, full right, or full left. I was up, down. Full left, full right. Just our rudders. Neutral. All right, system. Get rid of that. We said the trim is 6, so let's set our stab trim is 6. There we go, and it's a flaps 5 takeoff. One thing I will like about switching over to the Airbus is that I do like all my Airbus. So I have a pretty cool Airbus gear set up too. So, you know, it's in the similar vein to this. And I never really show it on the stream. I'll take a picture or something. But just because I don't feel like moving the cameras around more. Or I should get another one. But I have the Honeycomb Bravo throttle, and I got some really sweet you know, true to life size Boeing 737 throttle stuff. Okay, so I think I did the stuff I wanted. Let's go ahead and do our before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators.
On.
APU.
Off.
Start switches.
Continuous.
Probe heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Air conditioning.
Packs auto bleeds on.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Flaps.
Flaps 5 required and selected. Green light.
Stab trim.
Set.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Flight control.
Checked.
Recall.
Checked.
Before taxi checklist completed.
Alright, great, we did it. So, we are going to taxi now, and then, like I said, all we are doing is hanging a right on Bravo, and that should take us all the way. So let's get the hell out of here. Alright, brakes release. Start us going. Brake check, brakes. I don't know when you actually do the config tests IRL. I should check that out. But let's do config test. All good. And let's follow the lines. San Diego. Okay, go ahead and give us weather over here, traffic over here, or terrain over there. Pay attention. I really like this Southwest livery. 30, one of my favorites. Just got a good look. It's simple, you know. Simple and effective. Alright, we are taxiing. I'm gonna go ahead and just do some stuff that I don't feel like screwing with. That was like our flight warrant traffic avoidance system. And we can go ahead and stick the auto brake on. Auto brake. The opposite of the auto brake, the auto thrust. And we can do a before takeoff to the line.
checklist to the line. Config.
Checked.
Flaps.
Flaps 5 set, green light.
Stab trim.
Set.
Takeoff briefing.
Yep, we're flying. We're hanging a left. We're gonna look at the city and then we're gonna climb.
Reviewed.
Cabin.
Secured.
Before takeoff checklist completed to the line.
Right. San Diego. So, if you've ever watched this stream before, which you haven't, I do like flying on the West Coast a lot. West Coast, Midwest. And I usually come out west here because it's so damn cold where I am right now in the Midwest. I'm in the, Chicagoland area. And not non-native. So it's cold. But yeah, I love the American Southwest and the desert, and when I like to fly over the Southwest. And I'm flying to Tucson, which is a really, really cool town, actually. I like it out there in Tucson. I got some family out there, and so I'm a big fan of Tucson. Lots of fun stuff to do. Pima Air and Space Museum for any other aviation nerds out there. Let's check the weather again before we do anything. So just variable 4 knots. We'll get some clouds, but everything's looking pretty good. Alright, here comes Bravo 1. I'm gonna sort of pull this up here and
approaching 27.
Brass Lady. She's one of my favorites. Alright, parking brake, and let me do the last bit of stuff. Let's flip some lights on, get our strobes going, and I did a bunch of other stuff. Everything feels good. Feels good. Auto thrust. Alright, and we know what we're doing to take off. So let us do a... We'll remember to turn on the stupid clock. Before takeoff, below the line.
Before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP.
Set.
Transponder.
TARA.
Strobe lights.
On.
Landing lights.
On.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Half of being a pilot is turning your aircraft lights on and off, I think. Alright. We are ready to rock, so I'm going to go ahead and stick us on the runway here, and then we will get out of here. Enjoy some little views of San Diego. Driving a little drunk. Although, to tell you the truth, on the last real flight I went on, I felt like we went way faster than the law allows. Alright, so what's our runway? 275. So let's line up.
On runway 27.
Alright. Here we go. Alright. I think I'm ready. If you're ready, I'm ready. 3010. Oh. Alright, we have to listen to our, that was pretty dumb. Alright, 3010. Bad time for dyslexia to get you. Alright, here we go. We're going up to 6,000. Let's enjoy the flight. Okay, parking brake is released. Cool up the engine. 40%. Nice. Stable, and let's go. N1, Toga. I hear the co-pilot do a couple call-outs.
80 knots.
Alright, 80 knots is check. Press hold.
V1, rotate.
Alright, rotate. Pull back. Ooh, a little wonky.
Positive rate.
Alright, positive rate of climb. Gear can come up. And here we go. We are flying an aircraft. Nose down a little. Alright, LNAV, VNAV speed. Nice.
1,000.
Alright, 1000 is checked, so now we kind of start leveling out while we accelerate. Alright, trim down a little here. Alright, let's go flaps 1. Trimming, trimming, trimming. We're accelerating. Go flaps up. And let's go autopilot, command, and let's look around. Just water. Beautiful San Diego. I think I was saying I really want to go. I've never been to Southern California, really. And I'll turn down the outside sounds at some point. Alright, FMC speed, VNAV, Alt. Reset the heading bug while we're turning here. I can do our after takeoff checklist in a moment. Let's clean this stuff up. Okay, auto brake. Come off. Gear stowed. Light switches off. Logo light off. Turn the taxi light off. And alright, after takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Air conditioning and pressurization.
Is set.
Set.
Engine start switches.
Off.
Landing gear.
Up and off.
Auto brake.
Off.
Flaps.
Up. No lights.
Altimeters.
Are set for
Set.
now.
After takeoff checklist completed.
Alright. Let's enjoy some more outside views. Here's our packed aircraft. Alright, go ahead and line up the heading bug. Let me zoom out a little here. Alright, we want 6. Alright, cool. So let's hang out at 6,000 at least while we fly over San Diego. I'll go ahead and get the exterior sounds down for us. Alright, that should be more tolerable. Yeah, San Diego. Have a pretty nice view if you're this passenger. Although it is a little bit hazy here. That's the, I guess it's a naval base. Probably active. So yeah, just if you want to kind of check out us on the map, where we are. Flying along the border. But this route takes us kind of out over the mountains and then to Tucson. I believe we fly over Yuma. And then here's Tucson down here. So we're just kind of flying out over the desert. Sort of. What I will do now, we need to be up to 11,000 at least. I'm going to go ahead and plug in our Alright, N1 VNAV speed. And we're going to go all the way up to 390, I believe. 390 is set. And we are climbing. Pilot's view. Downtown San Diego. And we are in XP12. There, if you watch this stream again, which you haven't, but I'm a big baseball fan. I like talking baseball. We can shit on the Dodgers, even though, believe it or not, I'm wearing a Shohei Ohtani, just to show you that I can separate art and artist. Yeah, Shohei, I do love you. You are the greatest baseball player to ever live, probably. But the Dodgers, I mean, they're ruining it for us. I mean, the Padres too, for that matter. They're a big spender, aren't they? But anyway, I like looking at baseball stadiums while we fly. And yeah, a big part of the stream is I actually love air travel, and I could sit here like this all day. And I often do. So when you like flying,
At this time, you may use your three portable electronic devices to do memory and self-test. Please stay in the on position until we land in Los Angeles. Also, fish, while that seatbelt sign is on, you must remain in your seat with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain feels it's safe and turns it off.
guess what? The captain says it's safe. Let's get drink. I mean, technically, what I'm supposed to be doing is, as long as I'm below, I mean, I think 7 degrees pitch. That looks good. So it's a short flight. Let's get drink service. Alright, we are above 10,000 feet. Let me go ahead and get the heading bug back to where we're going. So we're above that one restriction, so we shouldn't be crashing into any mountains. Bye bye San Diego. I would very much like to visit you one day. So I'm going to be going to Japan next year. But you know, it's always like when you combo vacations, something gets shortchanged. and also it's probably flying out of LA more than it would be. I mean, I at least have to get to the West Coast. Well, first, not necessarily. I think aren't there direct like Chicago O'Hare to Japan? There must be. But yeah. So anyway, I was gonna do something. Lights off. Like I said, half the battle is lights. Everything else looking good up here. And our next thing is just once we hit 18,000 feet, we will set standard atmospheric pressure. Damn, start the chrono. The thing I forget most. And yeah, so I'm gonna have all new things to forget because this is our last Boeing 737 flight for a while. Mainly because when I switch over to the Airbus setup, I have to redo. So I have this my wind wing panel here is installed on the. I have it on like a HOTUS mount, but upside down. So it's actually a pretty cool setup. How I have it here, you know. It's moderately, I don't know, realistic, but also mainly comfortable. And so let me do progress page so I can keep my head out of my ass on top of climbing and whatnot. But there's standard, okay. All right, so now we can really relax now. I got no other buttons to press. But yeah, so I'm gonna have my Airbus set up, which I really also like. But I have not flown the Airbus in a long time, but it's kind of like hopefully like riding a bike. But one thing I'm gonna go for our we're not gonna be messing with our where's top of descent? Top of climb. We got some time. Keep this here. Let's set our co-pilot. We can look at our vertical path over there. All right, everything else looking solid here. Yeah, so I mean I kind of know the basics, and but I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, I want to go to my minimalist layout here. So we are in the Zibo 737-800, but let us gonna review Airbus procedure, or let's say it's flows. So yeah, this will be my first series, so to speak, was Boeing, flying this Boeing around to kind of get myself prepared for VATSIM, which I did a handful of flights on VATSIM, and I would like to be able to do it in either a 737 or the Airbus. So I want to get my bearings with the Airbus again so that I can fly that bad boy. But we're in the 737 today. However, I have the I'm gonna kind of show off a great show off and then hide. So this is a web app that is Blackbox 711, who is an excellent streamer. Can't recommend enough. And one of his sort of moderators, longtime viewers, Sunchai, has this great app where you can get airport infos about, whatever, and it shows, METAR information and all kinds of stuff. But for us today is the documents, and in the documents are checklists. And if I click A320 and look at the flows, it's got all of the flows for the Airbus. So what I kind of wanted to do today is review some of this stuff, and it also has just there's the actual procedures too, so we can look at like the approach types and read through some really good documents about that. This stuff I have looked through before, and so it's got the normal, some stuff about how to do, for instance, a visual approach. So yeah, really helpful stuff. Black Box used to fly a A320 IRL. Tune this one down a little bit. And so he's got great infos and great documents, among other great things. But we also just have kind of a normal checklist here. And again, all the stuff I will have to... oh yeah, and this is cool. One of the other long time, I think one of his buddies who I might be mixing up is he might be IRL pilot. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. But he had put together some of these briefings. So you can actually eventually do like shared flight kind of stuff, but it has all the different kind of briefings you would be doing as well. But I'm gonna sort of look through today on our flight just to kind of get myself reoriented with the A320 flows, which these are really great documents. I recommend. And and in Microsoft 2024 now you can get this in the EFB. You can download it, so it's blackbox711.com. My app dot. I'll go ahead and post that in the chat, really, just in case anyone wants it, and I can. Do I have any other text blocks? No. So this is super helpful, and I kind of review this to get myself back in the headspace for the Airbus. And you know, it's kind of funny. I should make like a little comparison now that I'm going to be switching aircraft for a little while. I should just buy one other HOTAS arm, and then I will be able to just have it set up at all times. Not set up at all times, but at least very easy to change out. But I don't want to make my wife too angry at me buying more and more flight sim stuff, but it's hard. But for our next stream, at least, the next Nate tries to get better at flight sim stream, I'm going to be flying, and it depends. I might just have a few cocktails tonight and do it, because there's a King Gizzard concert. So the other kind of flights I do are, I'm a big King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard fan, and I want to fly over the Netherlands, because in the spring I'm going to the Netherlands. It's a kind of annual trip for me, but now I could do a flight sim thing when I'm there, and I'm looking forward to that. But my wife is going to get to come with me this time. She's able to take off work, and we decided we'll just do that as our vacation this year. We have friends there in the Netherlands, and we stay with them, and it's a great time. I love that place. But I want to fly over the Netherlands and Cologne in my Pilatus PC6 microtonal flying banana, whatever I call it, on one of my KGLW streams, and we will listen to some live bootleg Gizzard concerts and fly around and look at the Netherlands, because I actually really like flight sim for trip planning too, because one of my favorite ways to travel is really to travel with no plans. And what I tend to like to do is just look at a map, and you put it on satellite mode, and you see what you see, and you decide where you might want to travel. So like, for instance, would I want to be traveling in Mexicali? Looks like a desert city with lots of irrigation and farms, so probably not. But I don't know. Someone can convince me. There's all kinds of places I would travel. One thing I also want to do just before I get too deep in looking at stuff is we can check out in Tucson. I know there's the Tucson VOR, the airport. Where is it? It's probably on the star. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we got Gila Bend. We can listen to King Gizzard stuff when we go over the Gila Bend. Stanfield. I'll punch that in. So what I'm doing now is tuning some VOR stations that will give us some general distances. So let's go. Let's actually plug in our ILS. Get that ready. 111117 will be the ILS, and then the VOR on 2. I'm gonna stick in the Stanfield 1148. Again, it just gives us some distances, but on this side, because our engine, or not engine out, but our go around 1160 is Tucson, but it'll give us a distance DME to that, which we can use for situational awareness. And like I said, the ILS, the localizer is 1117. Oop, oop. Okay, all good.
1,000 to go.
All right, 1,000 to go. So we will be at our top of climb, and then we'll just want to watch on our FMC here. When we're about 40 miles from top of descent, I'll start doing stuff. Well, we've got 220 miles as the crow flies, nautical miles to Tucson itself. But then here's that this there, that's a straight shot, and that other VOR is not quite there, or the radial. All right, FMC speed, VNAV path. All right, we are cruising. Top of descent is going to be coming up sooner than later, so we don't have a ton of time to look at Airbus stuff. But mostly this is just kind of, like I said, doing some refresher stuff. Although this is pretty bare bones before start. Yeah, because that's... Yeah, I mean, this just starts at the before start, so it's not doing kind of too much of the overhead setup. But at least lets me think about stuff I'll be needing to do. Lights, windows, doors. I got that. ATC, windows, doors. Let's see. After start. Okay, so this is kind of more just the flows. I wonder if he does have a total. Alright, so just this one. Oh, we got the abnormals. Oh, that's the procedures now. Alright, A320 normal checklist. Get the flows again. But I should grab a little Airbus MCP. But yeah, the Airbus has kind of like a whole different logic to it. In some ways, it's a fly-by-wire aircraft, so I will not have a yoke and trim worry about, which is nice. But I haven't used, I'll be using the toeless A320 when the time comes. And let me look for something for us. Let's just look at, I want to get just like an Airbus A320 cockpit map. Oh yeah, fly-by-wire. I forgot they have this like really cool panel. let's play with this. This is great. I forgot about this. So fly-by-wire. Shout out Bruno. Is a fly-by-wire makes. I think it's only for. All right, so cool. They have a clickable cockpit in the A320 Neo flight deck. I'll probably be in a A319, but they're all the same. But yeah, so this is the Airbus overhead panel and stuff that we need to get used to. EFIS control. So what happened to my... Nice. Back to flight deck. All right, cool. This is super cool. But anyway, there's a guy in one of the chats that I like, Bruno, who well, I like the guy in the chat. Let's see. Plus. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so mainly I want to familiarize myself with all the Airbus stuff again. But luckily, Airbus is pretty straightforward. It's kind of like a different logic, so to speak, than the overhead panel here is, you know, when something's on, there tends to be a light on. This is the lights off kind of approach. So when you see white stuff, you want that off, you know, that when, if it's not illuminated, it shows that it's on. But as far as I recall, how this bad boy works is, oh, what I was saying, the funny thing. So the MCDU is like, so in Boeing, you press next page, previous page to go up and down. This, you press up to go down and down to go up. You know, it moves the page up. And it's kind of funny because like everything is slightly different in these. But they're still kind of similar enough aircraft. But yeah, so in the one thing I'll have to remember where all my light switches are and stuff. But I'm pretty. I've got this full flight FCU plus the EFIS panel. I've got a stick, just kind of the basic Airbus one, or TCA one. I'd like to get the Warthog eventually, and then I've got some really cool 3D printed throttles and stuff from. I'll shout out the dude, the VATSIM guy, who's good. But one thing nice about the Airbus too, it's got this whole ECAM system, so it shows you more information. So kind of in the Boeing here, I don't have too much to, you know, I got my system. I got engine down here with some basic stuff, a little blown out engine reading. On the Airbus, I gotta just move this out of the way instead of minimizing it. We can kind of check like every system. It's really nice. But in the Airbus, it's stuff like, I know, you know, when you start up the aircraft, it's here's the electric power. Oh, this looks different. Oh, it's for the Neo. So I don't know this panel off the total top of my head, but it's the same deal. You do your, you know, here's your battery. Oh no, this is the right one, the same one. Anyway, as I know, you know, batteries come on. Back to the deck. Clickable overview. Move the mouse over and get the name. Click on the panels, get a more detailed description. Yep. We set our ADIRs here. APU comes on. Then we go external power here. We can use APU there. Forget my sort of light procedures, but otherwise a lot of it's the same. I mean, I'm just gonna have to get in there and do all this. The MCDU is different, but there's kind of a logic to go through it. The diff rips, where you do the data init performance. It's the R radio, and yeah. So I'll just kind of have to get used to it again. and try and remember. The main thing is all of my little stuff in the MCDU. Like, I'll have to try and remember to practice how I do my holds, how I do direct. There's plenty that I'll have to be thinking about for that. And but for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward aircraft. I'm hoping it's like riding a bike, but you know, I'm just gonna have to get used to the feel for it. And as usual, it's like a fly yes, land no. That's the consistent thing on this stream. So I will have to try and remember how to land this thing, which has a kind of whole different logic as well. So in this aircraft, and we're getting to top of descent, so I should start planning a little bit. In this is a conventional aircraft still, so there's trim that you have to set, and the Airbus does all that for you, the trimming. And so you use, when you know, this is essentially, think about it, directly connected as it were to the system, but to the flight controls. It's manual, conventional aircraft. Whereas the Airbus, when you know, move the stick, what you're telling the computer, you're commanding it a certain G load actually, and it translates that into your actual inputs. So it's pretty cool stuff. But let's think about some other things. All right, so the weather right now, 3009. So I'm gonna go ahead and preset that. And I hate when I have to pause them, but I think I hear some commotion outside that I need to pay some attention to. Let's just get a sense here. 350 at 4. We currently weigh 132.9. We're going to be losing not too much more fuel. Here's our progress. 9. Yeah, not much. So let's go with that weight. That's fine. 132.9. All right, we said we're landing runway 12. It is dry. The winds are 350 at 4, so not too bad for us. A little bit of tailwind actually. We'll be doing a flaps 30. All this looks good. Let's see what auto brake 2 does for us. Looks good. 147. So I'm gonna do go back to our down here. I'm in the approach ref page. I'll go ahead and punch in 147. Oh, excuse me. Flaps 30. 147 is our VREF speed. Let's plug that in. Let's look at our star. Here we are coming to Gila Bend, and we want to just be down to 8,000 when the time comes. So we are quickly approaching top of descent. So I'm going to go ahead and dial in 8,000 and let this baby go. Lots of turning. Lots of turning. All right, 8,000. We got the ILS plugged in. Our decision altitude is 2,800 feet, which is faster to do up here. 2,800 feet. Oop. Let's go by it. I'm close enough, I can use this. Alright, 2799, our missed approach, 4,000, turn right 6,000 based on that Tucson VOR, which I have plugged in, and our approach course is 126, so I am going to punch that in now. 026. Do it on both sides. Okay. And we don't need that stand fuel anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the ILS on that side, and we'll remember to turn or switch off the Tucson. Although it might be good to actually have that over here. 116. 13. Oops. Okay, there we go. Alright, cool. So we're descending. I want to do my navigational aids. So down here again, I'm going to go to my legs page. I'm going to grab runway 12. Go to my fixed page, plug that bad boy in there, and just for situational awareness, a 20. A 10 to 5. I'm okay with no center line. Yeah, you can see on the PFD or the nav display here. As I get closer, these are just some rings that kind of help me know when I want to be in certain configurations. Yeah, cool. Map. All good. Got some tailwind pushing us along here. And we are descending. So, let's take a quick happening in my real life right now. So, let's do a descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization.
Yeah, good.
Set.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Approach briefing and fuel.
Good.
Discussed.
IAS and altitude bugs.
Yep, good.
Checked and set.
Descent checklist completed.
Okay. So we've got progress. To our next waypoint. 21:44, 38. We got 6 minutes. All right. We will hopefully. We're gonna let the plane do its thing. Stupid. We'll let our first officer deal with this for a sec. But I will be right back. Enjoy some views for a minute. Alright, sorry about that. I am back. So, let's concentrate so we can have a nice landing for our last one on tape for a while. Alright, let me get my head out of my ass here. Let's get back set up. We are descending still. Speed looks good. And my phone has no emails. That's fantastic. Alright, we are turning inbound. We are close. Okay, so we are 70 miles from the DME. We need to be at 8,000. We're looking good here. Just 8,000 above, so we'll be a little high. I could fly over Tucson like we've been doing. I barely even looked at the desert. Oh yeah, so the joke is we're going to the Boneyard. Okay. I care about being at 4,600 feet. Is that... Yep. 4,600. That works. And when we get to Tucson, we're landing 1-2, and terminal is on our left. So we can probably go auto rig 1 actually, now that I think about it. Because does it do us any good? Yeah, I'd rather just get off here at 15, 3,026. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. But otherwise, the ILS approach is fairly straightforward. Watch out for a little hill there. Let's go ahead and tune our ILS. Set auto brake 2, and we are passing 18,000. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to local, double check again. Did I ever do the temperature correctly here? No. It's 21. Nor did I do this. I'm being sloppy as shit. 3, 0, 0, 9, 147. Does not change. Okay, cool. We're still good. Alright, weather looking good. Let's get lights on since we just passed transition.
Altimeter setting.
RAS lady gonna talk to us. Alright, cool. So our plan just is not going back to San Diego today. Here we are. We will be at 8,000, and why don't we do I'm just going to stay on this heading so we can fly over Tucson, because I like Tucson. So we'll do 8,000, and I just need to watch out for mountains. There are mountains at that altitude, so once it's above, I could stay at 10. How about that? Let's call it 10. What are we at? 447. Let me pull up Navigraph real quick. I can see how much danger I'm putting us in by flying around Tucson. So the sector is more like 11,000. So. Oops. So we will go 11,000, take a gander, and then we'll fly back around to and we can fly over the Boneyard, which we go to ours. Here's Tucson. Let's give us, oh, Mount Lemon. This is cool. So I went up here last time, and it's a pretty fun drive up the mountain, and there's a little town up here, and like I think you can do skiing and such when the weather is right. But so anyway, here's the Tucson VOR. We should stay out of the Air Force Base, but that's the Boneyard. So let's fly out. I mean, it's only 26. As long as we stay south of, well, Mount Lemon. What's Mount Lemon? 3,000? So, 3,000? We can go down. Fuck it. And let me zoom in here. And we'll just go heading select and then we'll fly. So yeah, I wanted to show just in Tucson. So the Boneyard is this whole bit about here. We'll see how it looks in X-plane. But yeah, we'll just do a flight over Tucson. Our last little joyride in the Boeing. Here's Tucson. So the northern part of Tucson is, I guess, sort of more like the old Tucson. I think we want to stay away from that mountain. But yeah, is that Lake Lemon? We got. Yeah. So yeah, if you're ever in Tucson, you can take a drive up to Lake Lemon. It's cool. This is some sort of quarry, dirt, gypsum factory. Who knows? Alright, so once we make this turn here, we will go heading select. Do that now, heading select. And the flight computer might bark at us a little bit, but I still got the approach in. All good. I could do, what is it, POC-B is 126, right? So let's do, let me put in POC-B, pocket inclusive 126 course. And execute, that should give us the center line. But I'm curious if when we pass the center line, is this going to delete out that? Let's see. I can always put the put it in again. But as you can see, the airport is in the Air Force Base. So there's the airport. Our air base is here, so we can just fly along the highway. Alright, VNAV Alt. Once we hit 8,000. Okay, let's go Speed 240 sounds good. Alt hold speed. MCP speed heading select alt hold 240. And yeah, let's enjoy and look around Tucson. Now I am curious in the FMC to see if it, yeah, oh well, you're getting my light has crept through here. But I'm curious to see, the last time I was on the Zebo, it I didn't cross the waypoint, or even, I was about like 10 miles away from it. But anyway, neither here nor there. Tucson. Like I said, we'll do a couple loops around the airbase. And we'll stay clear of, I should go, don't care about weather, but terrain is worth keeping for my head out of my ass. This, actually I don't mind the center, I just don't need the vertical path anymore. Alright, let's find the Boneyard. Let's fly the beam. Oops. Alright, 8,000. We're still doing that. That's the kind of stuff that I try and like get out of my system. Alright, Tucson. So here's the airport. Where's the base? Off to the or no. Huh, it is to the east. So there's the airport. Here's the base. So the Boneyard is here, which looks like it's not going to have good textures, but so we are on a direct course to just skirt the edge of the Boneyard. I'm gonna go down 5,000 or 6,000. Do level change. So now we're flying the beam to the airport. Yeah, so Tucson is basically, you know, you got the highway and it's just you got the highway. No, that's a bad way of describing it, but everything kind of runs through that corridor, and there is great food. But, you know, it suffers from the usual American landscape. It's flat, and so grid can be applied. Alright, let's have a little bit of respect. So, it doesn't like us being close to these mountains here. We are pretty low. Let's not fly directly over Davis. Want them. They might have to scramble some of my family members. They are service members. And they work there. And kind of my joke to my to them is that, you know, they're probably staying career, all that kind of stuff. But I was like, man, when you get eventually, when the time comes, I want you to pull rank and take me to the Boneyard. So here's the the Boneyard, which is just sort of a little, I guess, flat. But man, it's so cool. You can drive around. So I have been on base by the Boneyard, but you still can't go in. But like I said, I told my my family that once dry riverbed. Let's head. I think we can kind of head just like due south, really. Once she becomes a colonel or something, then get me on. Let's requisition a Jeep. I'll say I'm a researcher, aviation researcher. Yeah, so we'll have to re-plug in our arrival. It's no big deal. But yeah, there's the Boneyard. Too bad I'm backward in this angle. Here's the base. And yeah, all the national parks around here are awesome. Saguaro West. We're probably about to be flying over. Yeah. So we'll loop back around the city. Alright, let's go to 270, just west. And yeah, I camped. Or not camped. I have camped out in the west, in Utah, which is great. I'd love to do that again too. There's lots of stuff I want to do. I don't think I'm gonna be running out of fuel or anything. But yeah, you can come, and we rented this really cool little, like a casita, right on the edge of the national park, and great biking and hiking paths. It was super cool. Alright, that looks like actually Tucson. That's our landing runway. Yeah, it has us doing the holds here. Anyway, let's stop jerking around here. But I do enjoy the scenery, so and I'm not going to get to fly the Boeing for a minute. But I am looking forward to taking the A319. We'll be doing some more European routes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and reprogram our arrival. We want the ILS 12 and execute. Go to legs page. Next page. Ocib. Previous. Come on, baby. And 1, 2. Give us the center line approach. Execute. I will reset MCP alt when I want. But we're going to get down to that 46. And let's just go, how far are we? 10 miles. Level change should be fine. Start. Well, I should have slowed us down first. Let's slow down to our up speed. We'll go out. So it's gonna arrest our descent for a second until it slows down. Alright, start level changing. There we go. So yeah, all I did on the, I kind of zoom out a little bit, but I just drew our inbound to the last radial into the intercept course into our last little bit there. Cool. Alright. Fly downwind. Speed. MCP speed. Alpha acquired. So there's Pockby. I'm gonna just kind of fly out. About, I don't know, 15. We can just do 20 miles. I don't mind having a longer view. But let's do some approach stuff. Set start switches continuous. I'm gonna get rid of the oops, did I turn the... I did just mess up the lighting on my panel, so hopefully that's alright. Yeah, it looks okay on OBS. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of fly out about 20 miles or so. Okay, let's go flaps 1. Go ahead and reduce speed. Gonna have just a nice gentle landing, he says. And I'll be ready for just flaps or final config, all the good stuff. All right, flaps there. Go ahead and turn base. That going to go flaps 5. Let's see. X-plane sometimes takes a minute to pick up the ILS. There she is. Alright, ILS is, or localizer. Yep, got it. So I am going to, let's intercept at about 10 miles or so. And we'll do flaps 15 gear down when we hit Hockby. Go right into 30. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and arm the localizer. Which, alright, heading select, LNAV, VNAV is armed. And once again, we are exiting to the left, I believe. Crap Lizard Airport. Mountains. Doesn't this seem fucked? Get in trouble for this, I think. Does this freak you out?
Why?
Oh, well, I got the TCAS, or the resolution advisory. So yeah, we were very bad. Alright, turning inbound. Alright, there's the airport in sight. Alright, let's set runway heading 126. .310 at 6. So a little bit of tailwind. Alright, I see the ILS coming in. The glide slope. Dude, let's arm approach mode. Single channel. Alright, speed brake armed. Alright. Gear down. Low down. The VREF. Flaps 30. And let's do our approach checklist. Recall.
Approach checklist. Altimeters and instruments.
Set and check.
Set and cross-checked.
Approach aids.
Checked and set.
Approach checklist completed.
I meant
Landing checklist. Start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Checked.
Speed brake.
Armed. Green light.
Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Auto brake.
Auto brake 2 set.
Flaps.
Flap 30 set green light.
Landing lights.
On.
Landing checklist completed.
Alright, we did it. Let's land. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take over the throttle. Go. Get a little speed in here. Doesn't like me being a little low. Alright, 1,000. Autopilot off. Trim down, Zebo.
Approaching. 1, 2.
Getting a little low. My sync rate, as usual, a nosedive. Nose up should help bleed off some of the speed. Now let's follow it down.
500.
1,000 feet.
400.
A little low. Correct.
Approaching minimums.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Disregard.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Alright. Brakes. Reversers. We'll just go ahead and take the next one.
80 knots.
Alright, 80 knots. Go reversers. Idle. Manual brakes. Get the reversers in. Alright. I've had worse. Flight directors are coming off. Let me put the spoilers up. Flaps can come up.
3,000 feet remaining.
Down. Exit. Alpha. Where are my brakes? Brakes. Did I deviate that much from? All good. It was for demonstration purposes. Alright, brakes off. It's out of my face. Alright. Taxi light on. Everybody else off. Go down. I got way too much thrust in still. Come on. Alright. Not do so many things at once. Not good at that. Alright, strobes. Alright. Transponder standby. What did I have? Drain off. I always keep reaching over there in real life. Turn the weather off over here. Cool. There's the terminal down there. Alright, welcome to Tucson. Airport, at least. We've been in Tucson for a while. Flying around, almost crashing into mountains. You know. That is how we do. I at least put the seatbelt on. Alright, what's going on at this here airport? Let's go park over by the last time I was here I saw a there were some pretty cool military aircraft. There was an Osprey, the one with the you know, it's like it's a helicopter plane. We'll go park down by the tower. Maybe there's some neat ground traffic at this airport, because they park all the F-16s and whatnot. I don't know, all this. Like I said, my family are aviators, but not, I guess, well, they are combat. They don't fly jets. Well, let's just see. I know there's... Alright, can't really see. That's alright. No, I can't really see, but there just aren't any. So, let's park somewhere here. Let's figure out a line that is doing things for us. How about what is this, Bravo 10? You're crooked. See if I can get us. Oh wait, that's the. Yeah, I always get my spot wrong. Three, two, one. A little more. A little more. A little more. A little more. Brakes. Okay. Parking brake is set. CPU will come on. Engine switches off. Seatbelts off. Alright, so we got the APU on. Let's go ahead and open up the leash valve. Get the APU bleed on. Alright, let's do our other stuff. We can get most of the fuel pumps off. They are on. APU in. Window heats off. Probes off. ELEC off. All this looks fine and dandy. We're going to keep the position light on because it doesn't, the checklist doesn't see it. Otherwise, that felt pretty good. Let's go get some ground services, GPU, chocks. Go. What checklist there? Just the shutdown. Alright, ground power on. Fuel off. APU come off. Lead air off. And anti-collision off. And comes the jetway. We can open the door and do that's it, right? Start flight leg and aboard. I'm gonna do ground cruise. There we go. Does that open the door? Alright, let's see. Did we do everything? Shutdown.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps.
Off.
Electrical.
GPU on the bus.
Fasten belts.
Off.
Window heat.
Off.
Probe heat.
Off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Electric hydraulic pumps.
Off.
Voice recorder.
I'd like to check that again if you don't mind.
Which one is it? This guy. Huh. That looks on. We'll go ahead and skip that,
Also.
doesn't matter.
Air conditioning packs.
Auto.
Engine bleeds.
On.
APU bleed.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Check.
Start switches.
Off.
Auto brake.
Off.
Speed brake.
Down detent.
Flaps.
Up. No lights.
Parking brake.
Set.
Start levers.
Cut off.
Weather radar.
Off.
Transponder.
Standby.
CVR circuit breaker.
In.
Cockpit door.
Unlocked.
Shutdown checklist complete.
Okay. There's our last Boeing checklist for a minute. See, no one wants to get off. All right. Welcome to Tucson. Pretty easy airport. It's very small. I won't tell you my secret spot to get picked up. And yeah, we are in Tucson, where it is nice and warm. Ah. Bar out there. Beautiful. There. Nice. I like the desert. Okay. Well, that will do it for me today. Thanks for joining. We got to barely review some Airbus procedures, but that was our last joyride in this baby. Unless I just order Amazon today, and then the Hotas will come. Yeah, Zebo 737, great add-on. I really enjoy it. But that will be it for moi. So at some point, the next stream, either tomorrow after I get done with some work, or I don't know, even maybe later if I get froggy and my wife is interested. Well, I don't want to be annoying. Fly around and listen to some GIZZ, but either way, that will be the next stream, is in our Pilatus P6 turbo order, and flying around the Netherlands and a little bit of southern-ish Germany to try and figure out where we might want to go on vacation. So, all right, we'll say bye-bye to our Boeing, but hello to Tucson, and enjoy some King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and some Tucson scenery, and we'll enjoy a lot of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard on the next stream, as well as very low views of the Nederlands. So I will see everyone and no one later. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy some King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Rats in the Sky, live in Chicago.
Sometimes I think I wasn't cut out for this world. Sometimes just a scumbag to everyone. Probably would have been better off, you know, do my own thing.
You're not a scumbag, man.
I do like eating the scraps.
You like chicken.
I do like chicken. This one's about them chickens in the sky.
Bread crusts are my banquet, puddles are my wine. A revel in the present, each moment a lifetime. I need only